Now time for our ETF Spotlight. Dominic Chu is back at HQ looking at what else is riding the cannabis company Tilray's new high. Morning, Dom.
Hey, good morning, Mike. Well, it's hard to come up with words that really describe the kind of trading action that we have seen in some of these cannabis-related stocks, but there's no doubt marijuana-related issues are on a lot of radars today, at least. Right now on CNBC.com, some of the top read stories are related to Tilray specifically after Jim Cramer's interview with Tilray CEO Brendan Kennedy on Mad Money last night. Now, the massive upside move in Tilray and other marijuana-related stocks is leading some to question whether a correction or perhaps worse is coming sometime down the line. Outside of those individual stocks or depository receipts of foreign companies traded in the U.S., there are not a lot of ways to take a view, positive or negative, on pot stocks. One method being used is an ETF called the ETF Alternative Harvest Fund. The ticker there, maybe no surprise, MJ. It's got around $600 million in assets. That's according to the fund manager. Tilray, Canopy Growth, and Kronos Group are the three most heavily weighted stocks in that fund. Each has around a 10% weighting so far. There are about 39 stocks in the total portfolio. Now, a key thing to keep in mind with volatile stocks like these cannabis ones and the ETFs like those tied to marijuana are that technical factors like short covering possibly or options-related expiration, other activities can have a big effect on that price action up or down. Perhaps a good idea, guys, to tread cautiously or seek the advice of a financial advisor before dipping your toes, Melissa, into some of these types of stocks. Back over to you guys.
You know, Dom, interesting that the commentary surrounding cannabis stocks is very similar to what we saw in terms of Bitcoin. And Carl had a really good point with our strategist that we had just on minutes ago, Dom, that this might actually say something about the markets. When we see markets close to record highs, we're seeing people stretch for these sort of higher valued, what are perceived to be very high growth pockets.
Well, and it's not just that, Melissa. I mean, I've been listening to your conversations and conversations that I've had with other market participants as well has likened it not only to the cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, and that sort of phenomenon that we saw over the peak period in last winter, but also even in some ways to the dot-com boom back in the late 1990s and early 2000s with regard to companies, the expectations that those companies can produce growth in some massive way. Of course, there are always fundamental drivers behind why stocks go higher. But in this case here, I mean, within just about a month or so, you look at the price action for some of these stocks, especially Tilray, it's very hard to say even the fundamental backers of marijuana and cannabis can't say that this is really a fundamentally driven price move. I don't believe anyway.
Yeah. Dom, thanks. Dom Chu, back at headquarters.